It's been well over a month since the last podcast episode on the TrashTalk channel, and I kind of want to explain why that is and what we're going to do in the future. Also want to answer a couple of questions like, is TrashTalk ending? Is TrashTalk on a break? And stuff like that. So firstly, no, TrashTalk is not ending, we are just on a break. TrashTalk hasn't really had a proper break in a good year or so, and it's always good to take a break to refresh, to stop burnout, and to think of new ideas for the podcast. It would just get stale if I didn't take a break, and I would stop caring about the project. I want to be able to get new guests, new creators to co-host, and stuff like that. As well as that, it isn't just the TrashTalk interviews anymore, it's also the Trash Talkers Topic podcast with several other co-hosts. So it also gives them a time to have a break, because the episodes are pretty lengthy and sometimes we record several times. And most of the co-hosts for the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, excluding Ace Howler, do a lot of in-depth content consistently, and they need time to do their content. So no, Trash Talk is not ending, it is just on a break, and you can expect to see more Trash Talk content more regularly towards the end of September, early October. But on that note, when Trash Talk does return, what is actually returning? So Trash Talkers Topic podcast will be returning for more of a weekly formatted show, just depending on when there are lots of topics to discuss. We're trying to keep on topics like that because the past few months have been pretty stale in terms of new topics. It's been either in-commentary fighting or Mr. B stuff, and that gets pretty boring to talk about after a certain amount of time. And as much as I love the format for the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, it can get boring to just speak about the same old situation every week. Even a situation like Mr. Beast. Even our co-hosts like Spindling and Amos do get bored of that topic. And if the commentary co-hosts are getting bored of a topic, I can't imagine what it's like for the audience. Also, I think it would be great to come back with one big episode for the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, speaking about things that we've all done, like my confrontation with Cam Nuggets and the former Mr. Beast employee, and as well as Jake Weddle, and everything everyone else has been doing outside of the podcast. I think it'd be great and a really good episode to do. As well as that, I also want to get some new co-hosts for the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, keeping the old ones, but some of those people can't constantly make it every week, and it would just create a lovely new dynamic. But that's the stuff with the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, but moving on to the Trash Talkers interviews. That is the staple of Trash Talk. The stuff that I built this channel upon was doing interviews with other commentary channels and other creators. Usually when I do take my smaller breaks, I like to stock up on Trash Talk interviews, record with as many guests as I can. However, this month-long break, I really haven't done that. I've only recorded a couple of episodes during that time. That's for a few reasons. For one, I was getting burnt out. Two, I just wanted to revitalize how the interviews work. For one, you don't want to be burnt out when talking to other content creators. It's a chance to have a really interesting conversation and make the best interview and podcast that you can. So I just wanted to take a little break on that end, so revitalize, recoup, so that when I do the interviews that I'm fully 100% putting in my effort. Two, as well, I also wanted to add new ideas to the Trash Talk interviews. Whilst I have added new things consistently throughout the years, for the past 2 years, things have stayed pretty much the same with interviews. But I wanted to just see what I could do to make them better. Some people have suggested doing some of the interviews live, which is something I've been looking into, and I've also been looking into getting another co-host aside from Ace, as Ace has his personal life and his own content to be doing, and doesn't always have time for Trash Talk, which is completely fine, but I just want to find someone else that gets what Trash Talk's about and can resonate with other content creators. However, when Trash Talk does come back towards the end of September, early October time, it will be with interviews rather than the Trash Talkers Topic podcast. That will be something that follows after that. But Trash Talk over the past year has also been changing a lot, from how we do interviews, also doing the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, and just how it functions as a whole. But I also want to push Trash Talk even further. Yes, we are doing the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, we're doing the interviews, and I'm looking into possibly doing live streams for the podcast. I as well want to do another podcast on this channel. If it's by me, it's a whole completely different story, but I want Trash Talk to become a really cringe term, a multi-podcast platform, where there are several podcasts on one channel. This is for people that maybe want their podcast to be platformed on Trash Talk as well as their own channels, or just want it platformed on Trash Talk because they don't have a platform of their own. I want it to work like that. So if Ace had a podcast idea, but he didn't want to do it on his Ace Space channel or Ace Howler channel, he could come to Trash Talk and do his podcast on that channel. At the moment, that's my goal for Trash Talk, and that's something I've been working really hard on behind the scenes, and something that I want to continue to work harder on until we get it right. Although I've missed uploading on this channel and pushing out content, I would be lying if I said it hasn't been nice taking a break from the podcast. Doing podcasts as consistently as Trash Talk have been doing them for the past 2 years is arguably the most time-consuming content that I make. From trying to schedule Trash Talk interviews with people that live in completely different time zones, having to stay up for that, recording, editing, publicizing, and promoting. And then it's a completely different kettle of fish with the Trash Talkers Topic podcast, as we have more than 2 co-hosts. So it's been nice to take a break from that and focus on other content, but Trash Talk is something that I do want to pursue more over the next few months. So expect Trash Talk to be back earliest the end of September. September, and the latest the beginning of October. We appreciate all the support TrashTalk has received over the past 2 years, and most importantly, as well as that, the support that we've received over the past couple of months. We can't wait to show you the content that we've been working on behind the scenes, and to show you what TrashTalk's got in store.